shooting 4-8 and 4-8 and 4, and then all of a sudden 12-0.
Right.
In '97, it was a huge turnaround. And I would even throw in there, to not leave the Pistons
Turn
out,
left onto Point
the
Street.
2000-2001 Pistons, and then all of a sudden, you go 32 and 50, and then you turn it around, and the next 2 years you go 50 and 32. First round, and each year after that, they made it one further.
And then fire their coach after he wins 50 games his 2 years.
Exactly.
Which ended up being the right
Turn left onto Meriden Avenue, then turn right onto Union Lake Road.
Both the Wings and Pistons comparisons, the ones you guys used in the late 80s, and then also that Pistons team, that they got a coach who could win, but then they got a legend to replace him basically.
Yes. Exactly. Interesting. Our telephone number is 248-529-9719.
Turn left onto Flagstaff Street, then turn right onto Union Lake Road.
97.1 The Ticket.
Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get
At the stop
smarter to
sign,
beat the
turn
odds.
right onto
Download the
Union Lake
BetQL
Road.
app or visit BetQL.com today. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by YC Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
This update is sponsored by
In 1.1 miles, turn left onto Commerce Road.
last night in Seattle.
Spencer Turnbull has become the 6th Tiger pitcher to throw the 8th no-hitter in franchise history. His teammates burst out of the dugout and mobbed him at the mound. How about it?
It's Dan Dickerson, Raven on The Ticket, with the call of the final out of Turnbull's no-hitter. Detroit's 5-0 victory over the Seattle Mariners. That no-hitter, 8th in Tiger history, and the first since Justin Verlander no-hit the Toronto Blue Jays 10 years ago this month. In a release that was issued last night, Red Wings GM Steve Yzerman confirms Jeff Blashill will return as the team's head coach next season. The 47-year-old Blashill has won 172 games during his 6-year run as Red Wings head coach. On the ice in the Stanley Cup playoffs last night, Vegas downs Minnesota 3-1. Pittsburgh defeats the New York Islanders.
At the next light,
Tampa Bay
turn left.
knocks off Florida 3-1. Over in the NBA's play-in tournament last night, Boston beats Washington 118-100. Indiana crushes Charlotte 144-117. Michigan will open up the 2021 college football season in prime time as the Wolverine season opener against Washington. Kickoff from the Big
At
House
the light,
at 7:30
turn left
p.m.
onto Commerce Road.
11. One item of note from the NFL this morning. Former Michigan State standout Brian Blair is headed back to New England after the veteran quarterback signs a 1-year contract yesterday with the Patriots. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Good morning, everyone. What's everybody doing today? Let me tell you something. You wake up, you find out, unless you stayed up late for a regular season baseball game against two teams, that there was history made last night. As Tony Ortiz mentioned, as we heard from Dan Dickerson, and we'll hear from Dan Dickerson a few times today, Spencer Turnbull with a no-no, 117 pitches, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. The Tigers beat the Seattle Mariners.
In 5.3 miles, turn left onto Orchard Lake
First
Road.
Tiger pitcher not named Justin Verlander to have a no-hitter since Jack Morris did in 1984. Obviously, Verlander had 2. Most recently, since 2011, against the Toronto Blue Jays. What's up, everybody? Everybody good?
Yeah, I think we're 18. That is, he's now 16 and 26. If you
and then somebody broke out the baby powder and just plastered them with it. I thought that was just genius.
I love those celebrations after milk
Yeah.
dinners. They're so much fun to watch. They really are.
It was. Good morning, Heather. How are you?
Good morning. Good. Great. I'm fabulous.
What have you? Now, you weren't there when Verlander, was that a home game?
Yeah. The first one was.
The first
second
one
was in
against
Toronto.
Right. You weren't there for either
When
of
did
those.
that happen?
It was
07.
What year was it?
07. Yeah.
No, I definitely wasn't there.
That was-
No.
I vividly remember that night, not only for what happened, but it was a great moment because my mother-in-law had briefly moved in with us, and her and Kelly were talking in the kitchen, and it was getting kind of loud and raucous, and I was kind of like, I'm trying to pay attention to the game here. There's history going on. It was my first little snap.
Yeah. You got to see full gov or not full
No,
gov?
it wasn't a full.
Full gov. So you never seen.
I don't want to see Phil. I don't want to see Phil Golf. Trust me.
Don't matter. It doesn't. Things don't matter anymore.
No, exactly.
I think we have third kid. It's like,
Yes,
yeah, whatever.
Yes.
Angel Hernandez was the plate umpire.
That was his first.
Shut up anymore.
Yeah.
That was his first. Yeah. No hitter. That's the first one he's ever called.
Yeah.
Another one. So this is only the second, or this is another road no hitter for the Tigers. There's only been 2 home. It was Verlander and one back in 30 or 52.
Well, there was. This was the third one because there was. Well, if you're going back to 1912, they had George Mullen.
Oh yeah, and then
And Virgil Trucks.
super fun fact: the Tigers technically have never threw a no hitter at home in Tiger Stadium. It was named Briggs and Navin.
Same real estate.
Yeah, but hey, Sony, that's true.
That should be one of Stoney's little things. That he irritates him. They never threw one in Tiger Stadium.
That's your stat of the day.
That's definitely an interesting one. But nice that they win, obviously. But no-nos are so much fun to watch. Perfect games are one thing. And I know he walked the guy in the 9th inning, and he said, "I got this." He did throw 117 pitches, so obviously AJ's not going to pull him with a no-hitter.
No. No, I mean it was just perfect. And you know what I should have done last night, and I guess we'll have to ask him later at 9:02 when Woj comes on. Yeah, I didn't know that was his shtick, right? Of every inning, hey, Spencer Turnbull goes 3 up, 3 down, 6 up, 6 down.
And there's also the narrative, I guess Shep and Dan did mention it. This should just dispel, that stuff about never mentioning a no-hitter because of the jinx.
Such a cheat.
I know, you have a responsibility to your audience to let them know what's going on, especially on radio.
Well, and
On television, you can get away with it because graphically it's there, you can see it. But on the radio,
Well, and what a great treat for Dan to
Yes.
be there
I
and
know.
actually call it in person.
exactly.
That just, there's just so much that was special about last night.
There's no doubt about it.
The whole thing with the jinx thing too, especially on a late game like that, trying to hook viewers.
Yes.
I mean, that would have been the classic. Yeah, you're gonna stay. You're gonna see if this is gonna happen.
Yeah, and it was relatively, even though it ended late, a quick game. I mean, it started at 10 and was over by 12:30, something like that. It was definitely under 3 hours. I do know that. Hey, we have a packed show today. The aforementioned Wojo will join us because it is Wednesday. It is Wednesdays with Wojo. 9:02. Jeff Blashill, who was officially given an extension yesterday, he'll join us at 7:35. And Mr. Beastie Boy fan himself, Troy Weaver, general manager of the Pistons, will be with us at 8:35. Heather has news next.
I sure do, and it didn't take long for your favorite organization, Sony, PETA, to respond to Dan Campbell. So we're going to talk about what they said. Plus, I'm going to tell you why 3 guys are just lucky to be alive after getting involved in a really, really wild fight.
This one's not that hard.
It's really not.
It was
It's really not.
I know.
the best response.
Yes, probably the only time they ever had a correct response when it comes to this type of stuff. We'll hear what that is coming up next. 97.
Hey, if you're dealing with old sports injuries, arthritis, or joint pain, if you've been told you need a new hip or a new knee, pay attention because I need to tell you about Straith Orthopedics. Dr. Brand and Dr. Fleischman at Straith Orthopedics are Michigan's top hip and knee robotic joint replacement surgeons. Why would you want to use a robot? The surgeon can plan the entire procedure in advance. The incisions are more precise, it's less invasive, less chance of human error, and there's less tissue, muscle, and ligaments that are moved. Therefore, you have a much quicker recovery time. And robotic joint replacement comes at no additional cost to the patient. Straith Orthopedics accepts most insurances. And there's 2 other reasons why I think this is a great move to make, because it gets even better. Straith Orthopedics is a specialty surgery hospital. So you're not there with COVID patients, you're not there with sick patients, you're not trying to wander around a gigantic hospital looking for the orthopedic wing. And if you've got to spend the night, there's no sharing. You get your own private 5-star suite, and I'm telling you, that's labeled correctly. I've seen them. They are sweet and they are private. If you are in pain, don't wait another day. Give Straith Orthopedics a call and mention my name, John Jansen. It's 855-STRAIGHT. That's 855-STRAIGHT, or online at straith.org. Straith Orthopedics is committed to you. 97.1 on ticket traffic.
From the WWJE 950 Traffic Center, free and clear, many issues on the area freeways this morning, but there is a problem in Clinton Township. A crash reported on Metro Parkway West Fennec, Groesbeck, Rowley. The right shoulder
players who place a bet on the featured basketball game will have a hand in lowering the over-under on the game. For every 1,500 players who bet the over on the select game, the over-under will drop by 1 point. And as the line lowers, the odds remain at even money. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 97ONE-THE-TICKET when you sign up. For every 1,500 people that bet the over in the featured game, the line will decrease by 1 point. Hammer the over and improve your odds of doubling your money. That's code 97ONE-THE-TICKET for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 800-270-7117. 21 and over. Michigan only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Max $25 wager. One per customer. Offer ends 5/23/21. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions.
Are you a real estate agent, or have you ever thought about becoming a realtor? Hi, it's Mark Z with eXp.